Okay, not great news about this guy. He stands at D. Plus. This guy flashes some red flags that you really need to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's more talk than action when it comes to going far in his career. He might talk confidently and act like he knows the right way to do things, but he doesn't put in the extra effort or creativity needed to really stand out. Don't expect him to push himself to achieve big things.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he doesn't fall apart, but he doesn't really learn or grow from it either. He's more likely to stick to his ways and insist he was right all along instead of looking for new solutions or admitting mistakes. He won't show much emotion or panic, but he also won't try to fix things by thinking outside the box.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work will find him difficult to get along with. He tends to push his own way and isn't very understanding of others' feelings. So, small disagreements can turn into bigger fights. People might follow his instructions out of habit, but warmth and teamwork are not his strong points.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you excel in your career, he's more likely to feel uncomfortable than proud. He's not very caring or supportive, and he prefers things to go his way, so your success might make him feel like he's losing control. You probably won't hear much praise from him, and he might even act as though your achievements don't matter.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he's likely to resent it, even if he doesn't say so outright. He likes feeling in charge and may struggle with the idea that you're bringing in more money. In his eyes, it's hard to cheer for your success if it means feeling less important himself.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's quite careful with money and likes things to be in order, so you won't catch him spending without thinking. He probably keeps close track of what comes in and goes out and expects everyone else in the family to do the same. However, his way of handling money can be strict and may feel controlling at times.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives a life he can truly afford and doesn't try to show off or pretend he's richer than he is. He likes everything to be in order, so he's careful not to spend beyond his means. He'll stick to his budget and be practical even if others are being flashy.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is quite tight with both his money and his way of thinking. Don't expect him to be generous with gifts, treats, or even his time. While you might feel financially safe, you could also feel that warmth and softness are missing.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He won't be secretive about money, but he can be very controlling. He likes to keep things clear and in order, so you'll probably always know where the money goes. However, he will want to make most of the decisions and expect others to follow his rules.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to believe that housework has proper roles and may expect you to handle most of it. He sticks to traditional thinking and likes things to be done in a certain way, usually his way. If you ask him to do more, he might push back or act as if you're upset over nothing.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's much more likely to stand back and supervise than actually help with chores and diapers. He may give instructions or point out how things should be done rather than rolling up his sleeves and getting involved himself. If you want real teamwork at home, this may leave you feeling alone and unappreciated.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He isn't the type to truly listen or try to see things from your side. When there's a disagreement, he'll focus on proving himself right instead of understanding your feelings or point of view. He may argue a lot, repeat his opinions, or dismiss what you're saying.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he doesn't explode or become wildly aggressive, but he's not very gentle either. He'll likely raise his voice, say blunt or harsh things, and insist he's right without caring much about your feelings. You may notice a lack of basic kindness or respect in the way he argues.
Does he have a bad temper?
He isn't someone who gets angry very quickly. He's usually steady and doesn't lose his temper at every little thing. But when he does get upset, it can still feel unpleasant because he doesn't hold back sharp words or harsh opinions. If you find yourself feeling small or ignored often, that's something you shouldn't brush aside.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
It's hard for him to say sorry and truly mean it. When something goes wrong, he'll often find a way to blame you or say it's someone else's fault rather than admit his own mistakes. You might often feel like you're carrying the blame, even when it isn't fair.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He may struggle to fully respect your boundaries, especially if they clash with what he believes is right or normal. He tends to see things his way and push for his rules. So if you say no to something he wants, about anything from household routines to intimacy, he might argue, pressure you, or try to convince you to change your mind. He's not openly aggressive, but he has a hard time letting go and truly respecting when you set a firm limit. This can be tiring and make you feel like your comfort isn't always his priority.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he's likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He may see your no as a rejection of him rather than just how you're feeling in the moment. You could find him grumbling, sulking, or making you feel guilty for not agreeing.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You should be careful with him about private moments because he might not always handle them with the care and respect you deserve. If there's an argument or he feels slighted, he could bring up things you shared in confidence or use private details to make a point without thinking much about how it hurts you. You might end up feeling exposed or uncomfortable, especially when trust should be the foundation.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful as he values routine, order, and sticking to what he knows. He isn't someone who chases after new experiences or seeks excitement in risky ways. However, while he stays loyal, true emotional closeness and warm connection might still be missing.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He can be quite controlling, but not necessarily in a jealous or overly suspicious way about other men. His controlling side comes more from wanting things done his way and sticking to strict rules, not from a deep fear of losing you to someone else. If you value freedom and want to be treated as an equal, his need for control and rigid mindset can make you feel trapped or misunderstood.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, in his case, what might look like being protective is really just being controlling. He wants things done his way and uses the word protect to justify making decisions for you or setting strict rules. It can feel stifling, not safe, and may leave you feeling more managed than cared for.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's likely to see parenting as mostly your job, not something to be shared equally. He believes in sticking to set roles and routines, so he'll expect you to handle most of the day to day care, while he steps in mainly to enforce rules or give orders. You may end up feeling like you're carrying the load alone, both at home and with the kids.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper suddenly. He won't yell or explode, but he can be very blunt or strict with his words, focusing on what went wrong rather than comforting them. You'll notice more correction than comfort in his response.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is likely to focus mostly on your role as a mother and expect you to handle things the right way, meaning his way. He may not fully support your dreams, interests, or independence outside of motherhood and can be quick to judge if you spend time or energy on yourself. Instead of cheering you on as a whole person, he'll likely insist the home and kids come first according to his standards.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might seem supportive of your career at first, but later expect you to step back or quit once you have a child. He values routines and set roles, and he believes in following his idea of how a family should run. You may find that after children come along, he puts pressure on you to prioritize home and parenting above your work, arguing it's best for the family. If you want a partner who encourages you to keep growing at work while being a mom, his attitude could make you feel guilty or forced to choose between your job and your family responsibilities.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is likely to act polite on the surface with your parents, doing what he feels is proper out of respect or duty, but real warmth and genuine affection may be missing. He'll follow the rules of being a good son in law without going out of his way to build a close, loving bond. Conversations may feel formal and include more instructions or opinions than gentle listening. He is more likely to expect your family to change and fit into his way of doing things rather than adjusting himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it in a steady way. He won't explode or get dramatic, but he's likely to make things worse by being blunt or too stubborn. Instead of trying to find peace or understanding, he'll stick to his rules and push back against your family's ways. He may say things without much sensitivity or refuse to bend, which can make the situation more tense.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is the kind of man who may seem modern with you in private, but expect you to act like a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. He values routine and order and is very concerned about how things look to others, especially family elders. This can make you feel two faced or pressured, as your real self takes a backseat whenever others are watching.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he's more likely to stay out of it or even quietly side with his family rather than stand up for you. He values his routine and what he sees as the proper way, so he may believe keeping peace with his relatives is more important than fully supporting you in public. Instead of standing beside you and helping you feel secure, he'll often expect you to adjust and keep the peace, even if it's unfair to you.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He has a strong sense of loyalty to his family's ways, so he might act like a mummy's boy when choices have to be made between you and his mother. In most conflicts, he will lean towards supporting his mother's wishes or family traditions, expecting you to adjust and keep harmony in the home. Instead, he may ask you to compromise or let things go to avoid tension with her.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he's likely to share many details of your fights or private life with his mother or sister, especially if he's unsure or wants their approval. He believes in following family routines and trusts their opinions, so he may talk about things you'd prefer to keep private. It's important to know that in this environment, privacy and loyalty can be hard to protect.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, overall, this guy stands at D. Plus. Some of these red flags can really become a big deal. You've got to be very careful here. Being in a relationship with this man can feel safe and predictable, but also very rigid and lonely. He insists on his way of doing things, expects routines to be followed, and rarely makes room for your needs or opinions.